Hook Lake Campgrounds, Jessie Owens State Park. This is spot 22, great for tent camping. There's a lot of gravel, so I put the tent where it is because there's no gravel there. There's a creek here to my right that's dry now, but it's a fairly nice shaded place, good for the hot summer months. And of course last night all the leaves were falling, so who knows. I don't know. I don't care. This video is Hook Lake Campgrounds at Jessie Owens State Park. It's free camping. I'm at spot 22. It's well shaded. You can park your car off the road. Let's see, 1 pet's allowed, must be on leash, no more than 2 cars, no more than 2 tents. Something like that, but I don't need 2 tents. I'm only 1 person, 1 big tent. I got a white duck, I think they call it a porta tent. It's 10 foot wide by 14 foot long. It's plenty big. It's nice and still today, so I can put this canopy up and don't have to worry about it. Got my clothesline outside. You have to bring all your own water, and you have to drive all the way out to the entrance to use the porta potty, because all the other commodes are out of order because structure failed. They're all rusted out, rotten out, and they need replaced. So that's all. That's the end. Hook Lake State Park. No fishing unless you're under 15 years of age. There's another campground a little bit farther up the road, but they're working on the road and the road's closed. So I couldn't get there. After 3 p.m. today, I might drive up there and check her out. But I got this spot here that's like at least 2 other campers here, if not 3. I don't know, one's all the way at the other end by the archery range, and I hadn't been back there, but it looked like he's here. You're only supposed to stay here 14 days, but these campers look like they stay here all summer long, so maybe it's not enforced. I don't know. That's all I have to say. Hook Lake State Park. Way to the campground. There is my fire ring. I went and bought Tractor Supply and bought some firewood. $7. And I bought a saw. So this is spot 22. You gotta fill out a registration, but there's no fees. Spot 23. You got a camper, a long rig, but it's not very wide. back in there, you might have room to get out. But then it's a long skinny. And here's a spot here. Really sucks. Yeah, I don't know where you park. Probably in the grass. 24. Put your tent there, probably. It's probably tent only. Spot up there on the hill. There is a driveway or pavement, gravel. Up there. Again, not very wide, and it's right next to the road. So a lot of these spots, especially the pull-throughs, are right next to the road. So there's really no get off the road, out of the way privacy. There's 32 or 33 total spots. I don't know how this guy gets away with it. He definitely stays there for more than 14 days. Got 4 chairs, got a buttload of firewood. I think this is the last 20, 28, 29. This is spot 28. It's got a long driveway. Again, narrow. You could back in there, I guess. You got ditch. You got to drop off on both sides, so you got to be careful backing in. This guy put flowers around his pool. Oh, he's a camper host, so he's there all season. Probably only comes out when it's weekends most of the time. Spot 30. Again, it's got to pull back in for a camper. And there's another guy stayed up here, I believe, at 31 or 32. You got parking here just off the side of the road. You can barely see it. There's 31. Pretty big spot. I guess you fifth wheel, you could put it off the edge of the road. Be good for tent camping. More open. There's this other guy. Stayed here at 32. I mean, he was here less time than I was. Of course, he had a small tent to set up, so it probably didn't take him but 5 minutes. But he had a big blazing fire going. You got to bring all your own firewood. They say don't bring it, but then there's no way to buy it. You have to buy it locally. I don't know, 9 or 10, something like that. Pretty straight camp. Sites on the right side of the road. There's an archery range at the very end. I think there's a couple of sites on the left. And that's about it. There's a camper down there. He's not the camp host. This is the first spot coming the other direction. And this for a pull through It's probably one of the few that's the farthest away from the road. The rest of them are pretty close to the road. Correction, it was not a pull-through. It's spot 9. That means there's 8 camping spots by the archery range. And a lot of space for a good-sized tent. That'd be a good place. You get sun though, but good in the winter. But you're the first campsite on the left as you come up the hill at the start of the second part of the campground. And right above the picnic shelter, so you don't want to be there if there's stuff going on down below you, especially late at night. Here's an example of the pull through where you're close to the road. Pretty small site, basically set up for a camper pull in. Probably be 12. Again, you go up the hill. It's gonna be all gravel up there, so it's probably not so good for a camper or for a tent, but mostly for a camper. And it also comes down the other side, so you actually a pull through. Which that's another pull through that you're far from the road. And 13 here, you got room for a tent, but you're close to the road. You do have a gravel driveway for a trailer in there, but we got a tree there. It might be tough to back in. That's the one up the hill. Not much space. It's on a hill, so it's definitely a camper site. And then you got a road that comes down for a pull through. As you come around the bend, you have a common area, like a campground picnic. All woods back here, which is good. Quiet. Another picnic shelter, small one, probably for campers only. I forgot to check the water. I forgot to check for the water. I got enough water. I brought 6 gallons. I should have enough water for 2 days, 2 nights to get by. I don't think I've even used half of it yet. Here's another pull through. But then again, site 14. But you're close to the picnic shelter. Unless it's a group camping or something. I guess you could get a tent in there. But then you're close to the road on each side of you. I'm trying to hold this as still as possible, but it's difficult when you're walking on a gravel road. Coming up on another pull through, you have some trees to get around. Definitely not for camp or tent camping, unless you put way out here in the end. But your fire is like 2 foot from the road. Literally 2-3 foot off the road. That's site 15. But I guess if you come on a busy weekend and it's the only time you can come and that's the only spot you got, I guess you take it. Here's another pull through. More space. Generally the pull throughs don't have much space, but this one's got somewhat. Again, 5-6 foot from the road. So luckily Well, when I'm here, there's only a couple other campers, but there's still vehicles driving around at odd hours for some odd reason. Probably going to the crapper. Because you have to go all the way down by the lake. And if you have to take a crap in a hurry, you gotta get in your car and go. 10-mile-an-hour speed limit. At 3 o'clock I'm going to go. The road should be open. And I'm going to go check out another campground. Maybe if I see a hiking trail, I'll take a little hike. Burn some calories. The road goes up that way and down that way. There's campgrounds to the left. And that road bypasses them. So if you come down this road and get a spot, you're kind of off the beaten path. There's one guy that leaves his trailer here. I'm in a spot here where the best spot for a tent is right by the road. I guess you can't complain when you're getting it for free. And it's Site 17. Maybe here, but it's still close to the road. I got a big tent, so I gotta be careful where I put them. Actually, there's only 2 sites down here. Well, maybe 3. So this guy here is all by himself. Let's see if the crappers are open. The other crapper is closed. Yep, this one's open and it has toilet paper. Yep, it's open with toilet paper. That's good now. All the crappers got toilet paper. That's good news. Oh, this guy leaves his trailer. His wife must be in there. It wouldn't be good for a tent. 18. Only good for trailer only. Too slopey for a tent. There's a spot up yonder. I think it's kind of a pull-through type. Again, close to the road. We're almost done. It's maybe 2-3 miles around the loop. Maybe not that far, I don't know. Spot here on the left. Looks like it does have a gravel driveway. Not so sure you could back a trailer in there, it'd be kind of tight. Again, no place to put a tent unless you're on the gravel and you're in the road, next to the road. Yeah, so good tent sites are difficult. There ain't very many of them. Well, maybe 3 or 4. Down by Archer's Range, there's one. A couple of them, you got a small tent. A bigger tent. I never took that in consideration when I was buying my 10 by 14. I just figured campsites were big enough, but apparently not. This is a pull through here. Again, close to the road, hardly any space. And then that's me in the back. So that's the loop. I didn't film 100% of it, but that's about 85%. $22. I think what they say, 33, 35, something like that, total spots. So it's a nice campground for free. 22, 10, 8, or 3 sites I can think off my head are good for tent camping. There might be a couple more. It depends on the size of your tent. I got a 10 by 14, so I want to be secluded off by myself. I don't want to be close to anybody. I don't want to be right on the road. So
Lake State Park, we're looking at Site 22 is where I stayed when I was there. I'm a tent camper. I have a 10 by 14 spring bar style tent that I purchased used from White Duck. Saved some money. And we're looking out, that's the road leading in, and it makes a curve there, and it goes back out, so I'm kind of on the far end of the campsite. This Hook Lake campsite has roughly 33 or 34 spots, I don't remember. There was a creek right next to me that was dry when I was there. There was a couple walnut trees that in mid to late September are starting to drop the walnuts, so you have to be careful about that. But a lot of these sites, as you will see coming up, don't have a lot of space for if you have a larger tent like I do. And a lot of them are very close to the gravel road where the cars drive by. I was there was only 3 other campers, and one of them was the camp host who wasn't really there, but his trailer was. So there was not much activity other than in the early morning hours when the state park workers would come by in their trucks in the morning. I don't know what they were doing. They weren't picking up garbage because there's not garbage cans everywhere. There's one dumpsters out by the main road. The day I left, they were cutting down some trees, but that was a little bit later in the day, about 9:30 or so. So it didn't really wake me up, but they drive by like at 7 in the morning, which did wake me up. I like to sleep. The pull-throughs are limited in amount of space they're there once you get a trailer in there. And a lot of them are really close to the road. But this is a free campsite in the Jessie Owens State Park. There's 4 different campgrounds. This is Campground A. Sand Hollow is Campground C, which is more popular because it is along a lake and it's stretched out long as no loop. It's just a road that goes straight in along the lake, and it goes for a long ways. This is Sawmill Campground that I went to. I didn't really get much footage, but there was nobody there. And it was like September 15th, 18th or something like that. And it has a lot of good tent camping spots. They are building a new, it looks like a restroom, maybe a shower house. And they've already just finished building a dump station for trailers. Even though the sites for trailers are kind of limited, so I'm not really sure what that was all about. And this is from Hook Lake on my way to Sand Hollow. There's 2 or 3 lakes that you can stop at and fish. It's all gravel roads to get to them. It's no big deal. This is one of the lakes, pretty big. If you had a kayak or something or canoe, you could fish it more. I'm not sure if there's a trail around the far left side there, if you can get around the lake, because I didn't really look. But someday I will. And it's pretty nice. It's just late September, so and it's been dry for a while. That's the leaves are browning out. That's the road coming up to it. All gravel roads. So then when you get up farther, you'll find Sand Hollow. Right here is the entryway to Sand Hollow Campground. This is one of the spots I thought would be good for tent camping. Is right on the lake. It's fairly flat. It's kind of high up from the lake, and it's steep, so I don't think you can walk down there. I'm not sure. I looked over the edge, and it didn't look like you could walk down. But this is one of many spots, and this one was close to the latrine, within walking distance, and the latrines were open, and they all had toilet paper in them.